Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. This week's deck is called Amulet Dinos, which I've done before, but the difference with this week's deck is that I am playing Terror of the Peaks in the place of Regisaur Alpha, so instead of getting down a really early Ghalta and giving it haste, I am instead hoping to stick a Terror of the Peaks and then play a Ghalta and do 12 to my opponent's face immediately. No Thoughtseize, please. First match of the day, early morning. Alright, well, Ragavon's not great. We have the Amulet of Vigor, but we don't really have any of our bounce lands to take advantage of it, so... Well, we got a plan. We don't want to get hit by Ragavon, but our plan is still intact. Amulet Vigor on turn 1 is possibly our best start. Any Amulet Titan player will tell you that's what you want to see on turn 1. That's our Ragavon. Oh, they took a Grazer. That would have been nice for us. I think opponents like, I don't really need a Boreal Grazer in my life. Or maybe they do. Yeah, they want to play an extra land. Why not? Get that ramp on. I have a Orcish Bowmaster mana going on in case we do want to cast this Explorer. We might get pinged for 2. No, just a Dolphy. So the pressure's on. Race is on. We did get... Alright, so I think we can have a big turn. It's been a few weeks, if not months, since I played this deck, and it's not easy. So I think we want this. Let's see. We want that to go on the stack first, and then this second, if I remember correctly. So this untaps. We tap it for mana, and then we return it to our hand. Play Explore. Ooh, there's the Ghalta. Let's do that again. Now I think we want to bounce. I really don't know. Probably this to our hand. Okay, so then, okay. And I think that's all we can do. We're missing some of our pieces to make multiple land drops in a turn. But we do have a 6/6 down if they don't have a Fatal Push to kill it, which, you know, it's Rakdos. They probably have a Fatal Push. So yeah, this is basically a Primeval Titan package setup with a few twists, a little bit of jank, and see, just getting in with the Shadow Creature. They don't have the Fatal Push. But instead of playing Amulet Titan, we're playing Dinosaurs, because who wouldn't want to play Dinosaurs? Who wants to win the game with Valakut and giving your 6/6 Trampler haste and getting a bunch of lands? That's, well, you know, whatever. It's kind of boring. Alright, now we're really on a fast clock. This is where Terror of the Peaks would really shine if we could get our pieces together. Also, we have this one ring that hopefully will buy us a turn. So Ghalta is going to be costing 6. We really need that double land drop. Alright, so this is unfortunate because we can play a bounce land, get the 2 mana, and get the 1 ring down, but then we're just back to square one next turn. And we can take a big hit and go to 5. Alright, so gains vigilance and haste until end of turn. So we could attack and then hold up lightning bolt. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we're just going to have to take this entire turn off, basically. We should have at least played the Urza Saga. But this does give us another green source for Ghalta, which is important. Yeah, I'm definitely rusty playing this deck, and arguably never great at it anyway. I've played maybe 15 games with Amulet Dinos, and I could tell a huge difference in my skill with the deck over the course of just 10 games. I think it's a really complicated and difficult deck to play, and there are wins that come out of nowhere. Without me being able to make extra land drops, though, I think we're pretty much hamstrung to trying to get this Ghalta down. We're going to next turn play a one ring to buy us some time, try to find some of our pieces, and set up a big turn where we can go multiple land drops into Ghalta, into haste, into dead. Looks like they may have drawn the Fatal Push, which would be really sad for us, or a Shieldred, which would also be rough. Yep. Alright, so yeah, we're in under a ton of pressure. So the Yearling, the Yearling is the sweetness. I've yet to see it really do much, but the idea is we get that down, then cast a Ghalta, and then we have two 12/12 Tramplers. Death Touch is bad for us. I think this is the turn we have to play the One Ring and hope that it keeps us alive. They're at 14. Can we string together the cards we need to come back from this? They're about to go to 16 though. So we'll yield to the next end step and then use the One Ring to draw some cards. Probably die to a bolt because we're going to get pinged by the Shieldred every time we draw a card. Yeah, opponent has too much pressure. We don't have enough of our synergistic pieces. Yeah, that probably should have run out this Urza Saga on turn 1 to play the Amulet of Vigor, to be honest. To have two Amulet of Vigors to have our maximum amount of... Yep, now we're going to 3 and we're going to dead if we draw again, so... Going to 2, we have one turn, folks. Do we want to show... We already showed them our Dinosaurs. Yeah, we're not... hitting the answers we need, so... Alright, well... A little bit of rough beats by Rakdos. They didn't even scam us, but they just have so many value creatures, and we got off to a really slow start. Probably played it wrong too, but that's why we're in our practice match again, trying to warm up with this deck. What can we bring in? Do we want to bring in Veil of Summers or Brotherhood's End to fight our opponent's creatures? Brotherhood's End would look good there. Sometimes I just think it's too reactive though. Shadow Spear could gain us a little bit of life. I mean, the One Ring is a powerful card. It's easy to take out, though. I feel like I've played without it for so long that it's not... It just... Take it out, you don't miss it. Alright, I mean, this feels like a reactive strategy, but it will buy us some time. Our best plan is to just go faster. One thing about our deck is we're not... I mean, we own our bounce lands because we want the mana, but we're not all in on our fancy lands that are non-basic, so we don't care as much about Blood Moon. Well, we have two ways of making land drops and bounce lands in Urza Saga, but we don't have any of our payoffs. I'm going to mulligan this. And look at all those basic forests. So, we have one of our... We're going to keep... We have one of our answers. Do we just want to go... put a land to the bottom? And trust the magic gods that will draw another land? Yes, we do. I'm sure we'll draw plenty of lands in our 28 land deck. Solid first play, basic forest. Nothing. See if they thought see this. Yeah, I mean, this is not a great hand for us. We don't have any way to interact. We don't have any way to ramp. We don't have any way to, like... Well, we drew an Urza Saga, so that's something, but it's so slow. Now we're left, like, bounce land into Pugnacious Hammerskull, basically. We're going about this the slow way. Our bounce land into Wayward Swordtooth, but then they can't block. So Pugnacious Hammerskull is kind of where we want to be at next turn, even though Swordtooth lets us play more than one land. We'll see. I mean, we're still like a Ghalta away from not caring about what our opponent's doing. So Belligerent Yearling, I mean, it's arguably is my pet card. I can't lie. I really want it to work, and it has the potential to be super powerful. Get it down on turn 2, then suddenly it's a 6/2 or a 5/2 when we cast our pieces, and then becomes a 12/2 later. It's just the deck wins without it, and I've not got to see it really go off much. It does have trample, which means it's going to get that damage through. They might as well play it as a 3/2 beater, unless they have something better. Like, well, yeah, of course they're going to play it. There's the Amulet Vigor, right on time. Does that change our equation any? Do we want to play... So if we play the Saga, we're kind of pricing ourselves into the constructs, but we do get the Amulet Vigor out faster, which is usually the right play in this deck. I think we just play a Pugnacious Hammerskull and hope they don't have an answer. We're going to play a mid-range strategy with what's in our hand, and next turn, if we draw a bounce land, that would be great. We can play the Vigor, play the Swordtooth, bounce, and then I don't know what. Maybe nothing. Do they have the Fatal Push? Are we taking 5? Oh, just a Delty Voidwalker. Yeah, I mean, that guy's hard to beat, that's for sure. Alright, so I'm going to get in, just punch through some damage. We will block the Ragavan, unsurprisingly, and hope they don't have a way to kill it. Take 3. The other thing we could be doing is another Voidwalker, is trying to the Urza Saga for a Shadow Spear just to gain life. I mean, this is a similar draw of last game where it was just we have these ways of making land drops, but no ways to we don't have any lands. Where we just need to race. And the thing about Pugnacious Hammerskull, we need a dinosaur before for it to not get a stun counter, so we definitely want to use... We definitely want to cast Pugnacious Hammerskull before we attack with the other Pugnacious Hammerskull. We'll just play... We could... I'm going to say we could have a Boreal Grazer as a blocker, but alright, so then... A little slow to the party. However, they're dead on board. I mean, they have this the one blocker. If we had any red sources, though, we could see this how the Brotherhood's in would be good against them. The race is on. The race is on. Let me see what they can commit to the board here. They can hit us for 6, but then they're going to be taking 6. They hit us for 6 again, and then they're dead if they just depend. We don't have trample, obviously, but we'll see what they can get up to here. We would love a Ghalta. It's kind of like Ghalta or bust, or just we don't even really. We can, if we get a red source, about any red source, I think we're fine because we can play the red source, tap it, a Boreal Grazer. We want a bounce land. Sorry, red source bounce land. Oh. Well, that does sacrifice that one. Change things a little bit. Changes the math, as they say. So we really want to bounce land, a red source bounce land. We would love to see them, assuming we draw that. Alright, red source bounce land. That is not a red source bounce land. And another grazer is not really where we want to be at either. Yeah, we see, you can kind of see the clunkiness of this draw right now, right? We're also in bolt range. So we really need to just kind of fade a draw. Play this as a blocker. No follow-up. I mean, we have 28 lands. And we got to go for it. What we're hoping for is our opponent doesn't have a lightning bolt. That are, yeah, basically no lightning bolt. And then next turn we get the Shadow Spear, gain back some life. Yeah, they're just going to block. So that it's good for us. But if they have a bolt, we're still dead. Man, I'm starting to warm up again. I'm starting to wake up and also get back into this deck. It's so much fun. Just big beaters. You look at it like, I have no way to interact with the Ragavan. Well, I have 6/6s on turn 3 and 12/12s on turn 4. Man, if we'd had the red source, this would be a very different game. But, I mean, we kept the hand we kept. We knew we didn't have the red source in our hand. It is what it is. Oh, they're going to kill us with a lightning bolt. Digging and digging. Did they find it? Can we draw a red source bounce land? That's still our best draw. I mean, we get the Shadow Spear. We might want to... I mean, we're just so close right now. Another Amulet of Vigor. Holy cow. Seriously. We could make Ghalta tokens. What else do we have to do with our mana? We would need 2 for the Shadow Spear. We don't have another land. Yeah, it's so sad. Gonna gain 7 though. And it has trample. I mean, that's a clock. This changes the dynamic of the game. Oh man, okay. They're just preserving their life total? Or do they have a way double bolt or something? Going back to 10. Man, just no luck off the top deck. Just refuse to give us... This is probably the wrong play, but I just want blockers, honestly. Blockers. Where we're at. I don't even know where we're at on the... We're probably 1 away now if I... Just glancing from Wayward Sawtooth being turned on. But yeah, we just really want... Our deck is not behaving. We've drawn 1 land out of 28 and they scoop it up. Alright, well, we got there with the Shadow Spear beats. The Janky beats. Man, we really had to struggle to get that win, though. I mean, they had all the pressure again, but the Shadow Spear, timely Shadow Spear on the Pugnacious Hammerskull, you see just how a 3 mana 6/6 can be really challenging for Rakdos if they don't find some of their removal. We could bring in the Veil of Summers now that we're on the... I don't know if it makes sense to bring him in on the draw. Thought sees us. We just haven't seen the deck come together. Again, I'm not playing it optimally, I'm sure of it. Like, it takes a little while to get back into the groove of playing Amulet decks. Probably should have run out the Urza Saga a turn earlier. thinking that I was going to be, I didn't want to, the reason why I didn't is I didn't want to go into the construct plan. I wanted to go the dinosaur route and save the Urza Saga, but then you see how powerful just getting that one Shadow Spirit won us the game. So getting that faster would have won us the game faster, probably. Alright, let's just run it back. Hopefully we have a nice opening 7 that can really show off the speed and power of this deck. We have the 2 Ghaltas and 1 Pugnacious Hammer Skull. This is like a hand that doesn't do anything. And we're going to try it. We're going to get the Saga. They can't Thought Seize an Urza Saga. Sorry, we're going to use the Saga and we can get the Amulet if we need it. Do they have a Ragavan again? What would be worse, Ragavan or Thought Seize? Oh, there comes the scam. Well, there goes Pugnacious Hammer Skull and Ghalta, probably. So we managed to dodge the scam draw both in game 1 and 2. Games 1 and 2, and now we're getting the oh-so fun play of Grief, followed by Not Dead After All, into Grief, into a 4-3. Yep. What are you going to take now, Ghalta? Alright, well, thank you. That was fun. Into Gruul Turf. Alright, can we race a 4-3? Seems unlikely, to be honest. Also, that was, what, did they mold a 6, perhaps? It followed up by... Yeah, this is, yeah, I mean... Let's see, did they mulligan, or did they just have it? Looks like they just had it. This is a frustrating part of playing against the Evoke Elementals, and this, hey, there's a, Pugnacious Hammer Skull. And we can't even cast it next turn. We can cast it next turn. It has Menace, though. I mean, we're taking 7 next turn. This is a really frustrating part about playing against the Grief decks. It's a free win. Like they just rolled the dice into the Grief and Not Dead After All. Double Thought Seized with a 4-3 Menace. Like, how's that not? I mean, I see how it's slightly better than a double striking 3-3 with Fury on turn 1. But when it's a 4-3 and it has Menace, it's not that much better. Followed up by a Dalthy Voidwalker. That's 7 damage, but that is unblockable. So yeah, this is a free win, and like if that's the way Wizards wants Magic to be, then these types of decks are always going to prey on the mid-range strategies like ours. And we drew an Amulet of Vigor. Is that enough to get us out of this situation? Probably not. We could get a go again to try to gain some life, but the Amulet of Vigor is really, we don't even have a way to make another land drop though. So we need to make a land drop, and we can't. Okay, so we need to make 2 land drops. We don't have that. Get the Amulet of Vigor. We can immediately get 3 mana to play Pugnacious Hammer Skull. Then we'd be dead on. Yeah, I mean, we got it. This is our only. I just don't see us having any other chance at this game. And we really don't have a chance at this game anyway, given that we don't have a way to make multiple land drops, and our opponent double Thought Seized us in turn 1. Alright, well, we're dead to a bolt. This would be another spot where Brotherhood's End would just be really, really good for us. I mean, that's the only way we're getting out of this, is to draw Brotherhood's End and hope they don't have a Lightning Bolt right now, which, what's the chances they don't have a Lightning Bolt? Oh, and the early GGs. How kind. Our Shieldred just the double run, the double. Alright, well, just chatting with the opponent. Alright, well, for CyclesGaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Getting scammed. There's one of our combo pieces. Alright, thanks for watching. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky with Johnny Cycles. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my website, cyclesgaming.com, for original Magic the Gathering content. You can read about my Commander decks or my Janky Modern brews. My latest article is about the Zombie Precon and its effect on Commander. I give you a couple different deck lists. If you're interested in a science fiction / fantasy novel, be sure to check out my book, The Podkind. I'm publishing it serially, a couple chapters every month. Again, thanks for watching. Check me out on YouTube, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.